Welcome to PDX Garden Home, here in my driveway garden, Portland, Oregon, Zone 8B. Right now, this garden doesn't look like much. There's trays of seedlings lined along the wall, bare soil, a lot of waiting. But now is the time when much of the season is decided. Every seed I sow today, cosmos, nicotiana, even the humble cabbage, will shape what this garden becomes in just a few weeks' time. And out here along the cherry tree wall, I have young plants taking their first real steps into the world, adjusting, strengthening, preparing. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's actually the beginning of everything. So come along and let's get gardening.
All right, time to plant some cosmos. I'm planting several kinds, but I'm going to start with this one, the Ubenza, or red cosmos. Last year I had a lot of white cosmos that came out, but that was it. None of my other cosmos came out. I don't remember exactly what I intended to plant though. Doing one per cell to start out with. Then I'll see how many I have left, and if it makes sense to me at that point, I'll go back and add a backup one each cell. Well, one per cell unless I fat finger it, like I just did there. So there's these cells I've already dropped 2 in by accident. That's fine. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 8 6-packs here of these red cosmos. Double check. Am I supposed to cover the seeds? Yes, these are regular things. Cover the seeds like always. Okay.
I've been thinking about using something else to make my indentation instead of my fingers, because with the angle, what happens is it angles it down. It angles the indentation I made down, and so then when I drop the seed in, it always kind of is rolling down, in some cases always down to one side. So trying to make the indentation more kind of centered or level. And I thought I saw somebody on some other video that did this, where they used some kind of tool that they made the indentation with. And I mean, I'm sure I have tools around here that would do that. I have little mini dibblers used for making holes, but I don't want to make a hole. I just want to make a little indentation. Got a couple things I'll try here. I got one of these little rake things here. I think this is for, yeah, it's too big, so that's not going to work. The top of this thing looks perfect, actually, as long as I don't stab my hand. I like it. That's perfect. It also keeps me from putting it in too far. I'll probably find some other tool for this. If you have any tools that you use for this, I'd love to hear about it. Put it in the comments. That would be great to know. I got all kinds of random stuff, so I'm sure I have something that may work just as good or better than this thing. Okay. I am planting cosmos again. This is a yellow cosmos. Excited for this one. I think it'll look pretty good in the garden. Xanthos. I think it's what. I have 2 seeds. I don't want to do one of these with just 2, so I'm just going to double up on. There we go. Okay. This cosmos, I've planted 3 kinds of cosmos. This is my 3rd kind. This one called apricota is got a little bit of a different flower flourish to it. If the picture is at all representative.
There's a quiet sort of order to this part of the garden, a place between shelter and exposure, where young plants begin to find their footing in the wider world. Along this wall, what I'm calling the cherry tree wall, I gather the season's early promise. Trays of seedlings, each at a slightly different stage, arranged not too precisely, but with just enough care to give them space, and light, and air. Here are the Shasta daisies, still modest now, but with the certainty of summer already held in their leaves. Beside them are the artichokes, more architectural, their silvery foliage catching the light even on a cool morning. There are onions, too, slender and upright, quietly strengthening in the greens, lettuce, arugula, bok choy, soft, abundant, and full of what tender vitality that belongs to only early spring. This is their in-between place, not quite indoors, not fully given over to the elements, but gradually, day by day, becoming accustomed to the rhythms of the garden, the chill of the morning, the movement of the air, the shifting light beneath the cherry tree. There's something deeply reassuring in this process, not rushing them, not forcing growth, simply allowing them to adjust, to strengthen, to become ready in their own time. In a few short weeks, each of these will leave this wall and take their place out in the beds where they'll continue their story, which they've only just begun.
All right, I am going to plant the nicotiana. I've done the white flowered version of this before, and I really liked it, how it worked out, but this I think will be interesting to see if I can do these kind of burgundy versions of the flower. Yeah, this one will be kind of more typical of how I do flowers, or how I do seeds, I should say, in any case. Put my indentation in, drop in the seed, and then cover it up. Already opened this packet earlier to check out the seed. They colored it. It's got a little coating on it, and they colored it white, so that makes it easier to see. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 per cell here because I have enough. Looks like maybe just enough to do that. Got 3 in that cell. Whoops. It's okay. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm going to use the more drier soil for my sprinkling on the top. Awesome. Okay. And that's that piece there. Okay, label. Boom. All right, delphiniums. I've enjoyed growing these in the past. They usually, when I've done this in the past, it actually took a couple seasons before I saw good flowering. So we'll see how this goes, if it's different in this garden. The seeds look like there. And these are theoretically perennial, if you can keep them going. All right, I've got some spaces in pots on this wall here, and I've got pansies to fill them with, so let's do this. This is my go-to cabbage, the Copenhagen cabbage. You can get it from different seed catalogs, but I'm getting this one from Botanical Interest. I've also got it from In My Gardener. Gotten good results from both. I'm only doing 6. I did 6 red cabbage and I'm doing 6 Copenhagen cabbage because I simply don't have enough room for cabbage. My family loves cabbage. If I had more room, I'd just grow lots and lots of cabbage, but we just don't have enough room in this small driveway garden to grow lots of cabbages. Now for a more traditional broccoli. This is Welcome, and I got these seeds from In My Gardener. I grew this last year. It worked great. In fact, some of it overwintered, and I was harvesting broccoli in the last 30 days. I only had one plant that overwintered, but that has to do with how many I planted and the timing, and I wasn't specifically aiming for that. So um, that's all to say I have confidence in this broccoli. And as I mentioned earlier, I love eating broccoli. My family loves eating broccoli. So I'd love to grow lots of it, but I am also limited on how many I can grow. Now this one, it kind of makes sense. You can treat it broccoli like this as cut and come again. Like you can cut the main head, wait for the side shoots, get some of those smaller side shoots, but it kind of makes sense to like grow this in succession plantings because you're really going to cut that main kind of broccoli head and then that won't come again. And then then you want a new plant that's going to give you a new broccoli head. So hopefully I'll remember to do succession plantings of this that span over a few weeks here. But let me go ahead and get these seeds out. The broccoli seeds look like. And this one I'm doing 2 per cell just for backup. I wouldn't intentionally grow 2 plants in each cell. In fact, I'll kill one when I thin these out. So I'll plant 12 of these for now, which is 2 6-packs, and then maybe I'll do it again in a couple weeks. Ah. My daughter Maddie, the 3-year-old, she watches this cartoon Frog and Toad. And every time something unappealing happens, Toad says, blah. And I've taken to doing that. It's a easy way to get that, express and get that aggravation out. So my label breaking is definitely one of those moments, blah. Okay. All right. I grew this in prior years, year before last, but I didn't grow this last year. I want to try growing it again. This is Hume seeds, picked up from a big box store at some point, but I like the blue curled kale. So we'll see. This is from the seed. This seed was actually packed for like 5 years ago, so we'll see how the germination goes on this one. I'll only do a 6-pack on this. And maybe I'll try to use it. I'll just mostly use up the rest of this and by putting 2 or 3 seeds, extra backups with the assumption that maybe germination may be low. But I don't know, maybe it'll surprise me, maybe it'll be higher. Okay. Red scarlet kale did overwinter. You may have seen shots of it in my garden. I think it's a beautiful plant. I like the look of it in the garden. So I'm going to plant another 6-pack of these. Time for the lobelia and the lupine to come out from under the lights and transfer into the outdoor tray and get ready to enter the real world. I gotta find where I'm gonna put these things, or where I'm gonna put this tray. It'll be in the sun. It doesn't really go in my cherry tree veggie garden area.
Lupin got into the lobelia, snuck its way into that cell.
Okay. Let me go find a sunny location. Okay, we're going to do some calendula here. Zeolites. I haven't planted any calendula from seed this season, I don't think. So here's a look at what those seeds look like. Woo! Lost one. Lost a couple there. Okay. You check and make sure I'm supposed to cover them. Darkness aids germination. All right. Yay for darkness and seeds. Not confusing me. And so the garden settles in again. In just a few weeks' time, this space will feel entirely different, fuller, softer, alive, with movement and color. And it all begins with these small, careful acts repeated day by day. Thanks for gardening with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.